Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the virtual NEO14. Getting set to go here, presented by Team Associated.
3.
Top 10 drivers on the line. Tone sounds. We are off and underway. These drivers making their way on the left-hand side of the track. Oh, trouble early on for several drivers. Everybody going to be packed right there together. Onto the backside they go. We'll see who comes out with that early lead right now. As they work their way through the switchback section, everybody close here on lap number 1. There's Dan Marson, the purple and yellow machine. Marson in the number 3 spot now. Up and over that big air jump they go. You see so many different lines. A huge air there for that green buggy. As they're working their way around down to the front side, Dan Marson going to be out front. Marson leading the way in the purple and yellow machine now. Through the switchback section on the back straight. We'll see right here a lot of drivers going for the big quad. Marson goes for the quad. He's got company coming up behind him. All 6 drivers right now are going to be right there together. Different lines coming through that section. Some going single-double, some going double-single. Marson dropping back in the field now as they go big air once again. Marson, nice line back to the front. Marson down the front stretch he goes. I believe that's going to be Javon Candy in that number 2 spot. Candy goes by now. Javon Candy taking over the top spot onto the back right side. Through the switchback sections. Marku Honkanen working his way up in there. Rob Gillespie, Barcina, Fritzler, Bowden. Dan Marson right now sitting in that number 4 spot. As they're working their way back into the center section, open over the tabletop. Marson taking the safe line on that one. Going single-double back around to the front side now. Marson's got company coming up behind him. David Barcina. There's Frederick Bowden. Bowden sitting in the number 6 spot, chasing down Fritzler. Rob Gillespie sitting in the number 7 spot right now. Gillespie off to a little bit of a rough start here in this one. He started the number 3 spot on the grid. Working his way through another set of switchbacks. A lot of switchbacks here in the NEO14 layout. Up and over the tabletop he goes, whipping his wheels right there. Single, double, jumping up top. Working his way through some traffic now. Going to be moving up into the number 6 place spot. Bowden dropping to number 7. Gillespie onto the backside now, chasing down. Right there in front of him. And now we've got a battle on our hands here. Rob Gillespie and Fritzler. Fritzler taking the outside line. They're airing it out across that double. It looked like he almost 45 that corner. Fritzler now back up to the number 3 spot. Gillespie in the 4 spot. Fritzler in that all green buggy, and Fritzler headed in for fuel now. Gillespie goes on by. So Gillespie up into the 3 spot. Oh, Fritzler with trouble in the pits. That's going to cost him some time right there. That's going to hand over the 3rd place spot to Rob Gillespie, assuming Gillespie can keep it clean. 8 minutes into this one right now. David Barcina in the number 2 spot here. The all-white buggy, red wing, yellow wheels. Up and over the tabletop jump he goes. Airing it out there. Big air. Tripling through that center section. Takes perfect timing to do that one. Javon Candy going to be out front right now. He's got a 6-second lead on this man right here. David Barcina, 6 seconds behind your leader. Barcina started the number 1 spot on the grid. He's sitting in the number 2 spot right now. Javon Candy started 2nd. He's up to the lead now. Through the switchback section goes Barcina. Oh, little mistake there for David Barcina. Coming up short on the triple section. Airing it out once again. Nice and smooth there. A lot of drivers having trouble with that section. Barcina in for fuel now. In and on the wall. 9 minutes down here in this one. There you see David Barcina. There is your leader, Javon Candy. Javon Candy driving the Kyosho buggy, the red machine, coming down the front stretch. Onto the left-hand side of the track he goes right now, working his way into some lap traffic. Javon Candy out front leading this one through the switchback sections. Nice and smooth line right there. Airing it out up and over the quad. Came up a little bit short. You saw him wiggling his wheels trying to gain some time. Javon Candy, oh, nice right there, Javon Candy. Whipping it. Let's take an instant replay here. Whipping it. Perfect landing right there for Javon Candy. Coming back around the front side, jumping up top. Oh, a little mistake there. Javon Candy coming into pit lane. He is in and on the wall. Marku Honkanen in that number 2 spot now, the pink buggy. Nice line right there, 45 and over that double section. Javon Candy back on the track now through the switchbacks onto the backside he goes. Up and over the quad. Oh, Javon Kennedy comes up short on the quad. That's going to cost him some time. Up and over the roller he goes. He's got a pretty big lead right now. Going double single once again through that line. We'll see what he does here on the big air jump. And he goes for it, airing it out. Nice and smooth for him there. Javon Kennedy's got the Kyosho buggy working good. There's David Barcina, our number 3 place driver. And that's a battle for second and third now. And Barcina going to take over that second place spot as Honkanen heads back into the pits for fuel. 10:40 down here in this one. There you see Markku Honkanen. In and out of the pits. Oh, a little struggle there coming out of the pits. Got lucky. 11 minutes down here in this one. Javon Kennedy going to be out front. Barcina in number 2 spot. Honkanen in number 3 spot. Gillespie and Fritzler, your top 5. And there you see Honkanen right now. Battle it out with, I believe that's Fritzler and Gillespie going to be right there with him now. All 3 drivers, I believe, battling for a position. 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Here they come around on the front side now. Down the front straight they go. Markku Honkanen in the pink buggy, chasing down Fritzler. Fritzler in the green buggy. He's got Rob Gillespie right there in front of him. Through the switchback section they go now. All 3 drivers putting in some pretty close lap times. Fritzler goes triple single. They are all right there together right now. Working their way around there. You see Fritzler trying to make the move on Honkanen right now. Rob Gillespie trying to stretch it out just a little bit on him. Doubling right there. Going double single in that line. Nice line for those drivers. Jumping all the way into that corner. You may remember from the NEO14, the real deal last year. Elliott Boots did that same exact line. Rob Gillespie right now sitting in the number 3 spot. Chasing down David Barcina and Javon Kennedy. Oh, Gillespie making a little bit of a mistake there. Through the switchback section now. He's got company coming up behind him. That's Honkanen. Honkanen airing it out into the corner. Rocket boosters. And Honkanen airing it out right there. Going single, double. There you can see it's pretty much the same amount of time for both those different lines. A very cool section here on the NEO13 layout for the virtual NEO14 race. Through the switchbacks they go once again. Oh, Gillespie makes a mistake right there. Honkanen goes right on by. Up and over the quad section. Honkanen comes up short now. Gillespie up into the number 3 spot once again. Javon Kennedy and David Barcina going to be out front, leading the way here. They are 3 seconds ahead of these drivers. Rob Gillespie whipping the wheels there, going single-double. Honkanen going double-single. Back around to the front side. 12:45 down in this one. Javon Kennedy, David Barcina, Rob Gillespie. Your top 3 right now. Now with 18 minutes down. There you see Markku Honkanen chasing his way through into that 4th place spot. Chasing down Frederick Bowden. Bowden up to the number 3 spot right now. Barcina 5.5 seconds back from Javon Kennedy. Honkanen make a little mistake there on the quad section. Working his way through the switchbacks he goes. Going single-double on that one. A little bit different line for Honkanen. There is your leader right there, Javon Kennedy. Javon Kennedy driving that Kyosho buggy. Jumped out front early on here in this one. He's looking to try and stay there for the remainder of this race. Javon headed into that middle section, going double single there. We'll see what he does here over the big triple. And he airs it out. Big air right there. Stretching for that extra air time. Coming down the front stretch. Little kicker right there at the loop. A little step-up kickers coming onto the front stretch. Causing some problems in qualifying for a lot of different drivers. And in practice sessions, we saw a lot of drivers having trouble with that. Javon Kennedy's got it figured out, though. Going quad there. As they're working their way. Oh, Javon Kennedy coming up a little bit short right now. Javon Kennedy with a 7.2 second lead on this man right here, David Barcina. Barcina in the white buggy trying to chase down the leader. Top 3 drivers starting to spread out just a little bit right now. Frederick Bowden going to be 4.6 seconds back in 3rd from Barcina. There's Rob Gillespie. Rob Gillespie trying to work his way up now. Down the front stretch he goes. Gillespie chasing down Bowden. Onto the left-hand side of the track they go, up and over the double section. There you see Bowden in front of him there. The red and white buggy through the switchbacks they go, coming onto the quad section. Rob Gillespie, oh, goes for the quad, makes a mistake. Through the switchbacks now. Coming up on that 20-minute mark here in this. Oh, and Rob Gillespie rolling it over. Gillespie working his way back around to the front side, making a little mistake, trying to gain lost time. Gillespie now going to be 3 seconds back from Bowden. Bowden is 3 seconds back from Barcina, and Barcina is 10 seconds back from Javon Candy. Javon Candy laying it down right now. Oh, another mistake for Rob Gillespie. Gillespie having all sorts of trouble driving that Associated buggy, it looks like. He's got company coming up behind him. That's Fritzler. Fritzler in the green buggy. And look at that line by Fritzler right there. 45 and up and over that fence section. Have to see what the officials say about that one after this race. Driving the Mugen Siki buggy, headed down the front stretch. He goes right now. There you see Rob Gillespie not that far in front of him right now. Into the switchback sections they go, coming back around to the back side. 21 minutes down here in this one. This race is starting to wind down for these drivers. Javon Candy out front leading the way still. Fritzler. Oh! 45s, it gets caught in the fence on that one. We just talked about that last lap, the way he 45 up and over that fence. Tried to get away with it on that one, and the fence caught him. Rob Gillespie right here in that number 3 spot now. He's going to be 7 seconds back from Barcina. Now with 25 minutes, 30 seconds down. There's David Barcina, our number 2 driver. Barcina started in that pole position. He's sitting second right now, working his way nice and easy through pit lane, a tricky pit lane section. Here comes Rob Gillespie. Gillespie coming in for fuel as well. Gillespie in and on the wall. Barcina in and out of the pit. So right now, second and third going to be sitting where they're at. There you see Rob Gillespie getting topped off, in and out. Driving the Associated buggy onto the left-hand side. Barcina in the number 2 spot. Through the switchback section goes Barcina. Goes double single. Comes up a little short there. Javon Candy going to be out front leading the way here. Driving that Kyosho buggy. Time winding down here in this one. Barcina on the left-hand side. Down the back section he goes. There's Dan Marson. We saw Dan Marson early in this one leading the way. Marson has dropped back to the 6th place spot now, but looks pretty smooth out there in the purple, yellow, and white machine. Single double for him there through the big section. Back around to the front straight now. Dan Marson going to be out front of Maku Hankinen for that 6th and 7th place spot. There is your leader out front of the entire field, Javon Candy. Javon Candy driving that Kyosho buggy, looking smooth right now. He goes double single. He was airing that out earlier on, decided to go for the double single line. In the pits, oh, looked like he may have had a little trouble heading into the pits there. He does. Javon Candy getting caught up in pit lane. That's going to cost him some time, but I tell you what, his lead is so big right now. And there you see Barcina. So Javon Candy still got plenty of breathing room. 16.7 second lead before the pit stop. Right now, Javon Candy just flat laying it down. Barcina in that number 2 spot trying to close the gap up on him, but I tell you what, Javon is just checking out here in this one. 27 minutes, 45 seconds down. This race is winding down with only a few minutes left to go. Something catastrophic is going to happen for Javon Candy to lose this one. Rob Gillespie in the number 3 spot. He's now only going to be 2 seconds back from Barcina, trying to close the gap up on him. Gillespie down the front stretch he goes. A Team Associated buggy onto the left-hand side, up and over the double. 2 minutes left to go for these drivers now through the switchback sections. Rob Gillespie trying to close that gap up. There you see Barcina not that far in front of him. Through the switchback section they go. He goes double single there. We'll see what he's got here into the big triple section. Open over the tabletop. Gillespie single double. Back around to the front side now. Rob Gillespie in the number 3 spot. There you see David Barcina in the number 2 spot. Barcina now has closed the gap up on Javon Candy. Javon Candy now only going to be 2.7 seconds ahead of Barcina, so I don't know what happened to Javon Candy, but Candy's lead has significantly decreased. Barcina trying to close that gap up on him. A late race charge. 1 minute left to go for these drivers. Isn't enough time. Barcina chasing down Javon Candy right now. Onto the left-hand side of the track they go. Here comes Rob Gillespie in the number 3 spot. Things are tightening up with only a minute to go. Rob Gillespie in the Associated car. Onto the backside he goes. There's Javon Candy, your leader. There you see David Barcina right there behind him. Barcina gained a half a second on that last lap. 45 seconds left to go. Can Javon Candy hold on to this one? Javon go for the big triple, comes up a little short. There's Barcina. Barcina makes the triple. 30 seconds left to go. Down the front stretch they go. David Barcina, late race charge, up and over the double. They are a straightaway length apart right now. Battle for the lead. There you see Javon Candy in the red car, Barcina in the white car. Oh, David Barcina clips the inside pipe and tumbles. Barcina was so close. That is, oh, and another mistake for Barcina. David Barcina falling apart here on this last lap. All sorts of trouble for Barcina. Wow, and Rob Gillespie up into the number 2 spot now. And that is a race right there. Javon Candy going to take the win in this one. Rob Gillespie going to take second. David Barcina third. Fritcher fourth. And Bowden your top 5. What a run right there for Javon Candy. And you got to give it to David Barcina. He was pushing hard on the last lap. Almost made it happen. A few mistakes. And Rob Gillespie was able to steal that number 2 spot from him. What a great race here for the virtual NEO14 presented by Team Associated.